Hi, everybody. Um, how's it going today with you? Welcome to some Friday thoughts. I have a couple of conversations that came up this week. Things that were emailed me, things that were said in the group, and things I said, you know what, let me go on and talk about this just so I can explain better the subject and you don't have to sit there and read and read and read. I'm sorry, I don't feel, I'm fighting a cold. Look, my eyes are all red, a little bit stuffy, runny nose, whatever. Excuse me if I am not up to my fabulous self, although I'm doing the best I can. So, what someone posed a question in the group of where they could get dealer pricing. Where can I get dealer price? Like who I need dealer pricing on plumbing fixtures, dealer pricing on light fixtures. Well, this is what you need to know. What is how it goes with plumbing products when it comes to plumbing products. Now this is totally different than fabrics and everything else. So fabrics, furniture, curtains, window treatments, all in a whole nother category. How you figure out things in the kitchen business, bathroom business, we work differently. First of all, if you want to become a dealer, you need it goes distributor. So who's a distributor? So Kohler could be their Toto could be a distributor, and they send their products to the dealer, and the dealer can be is the one that you sell it to. So you have a distributor. The distributor could even be a couple of manufacturers together, but you have your distributor center, then you have your dealer center, and then you have your end product going to the end consumer. So between a dealer and the end consumer, you have your designer. So the designers and specifiers fall in that middle category before we get to the consumer. So to become a dealer, you must have a showroom or an office space or somewhere that you put your display. You must buy displays from the manufacturers. They're all going to make you invest in dollars to buy the product to put on display so that you can become a dealer and get dealer pricing. Or if you're not putting on display, you would have to qualify for certain purchase volume. So there are certain qualifications to become a dealer. When I was a dealer, I had to have the retail space. I had to invest money in their items, whether it was six faucet samples, three faucet samples, a base, a little mini kitchen, 6 foot of kitchen to become a dealer. Whatever their requirements were to become a dealer, I had to make that investment. Now, of course, to get those items, they were super, super low pricing. It wasn't like if it's a $600 faucet and I get 50% off $300, I had to spend $300 to put on display. No, I probably got that at my cost with all the display and dealer incentives. I got that faucet for maybe $150. But I still had to make a monetary investment in the product. If I wanted to be a dealer for top knobs, I had to have the top knob tower or top knob boards, and I'd have to have a minimum of 5 boards. To become a dealer for the Sophia medicine cabinets to get the best pricing, I invested in a medicine cabinet to put on display. If they said 2 medicine cabinets, whatever it was, we could negotiate. Maybe I don't have enough space, but the same thing went with vanity companies, kitchen cabinet companies, uh, light fixtures, hardware, countertops is a whole nother deal. But when you invest in their product, you become a dealer, you get the dealer pricing. So maybe your dealer pricing is it's a multiplier. You get a very discounted multiplier. Like for cabinetry, your multiplier could be like 0.2759, meaning you get like 80% off of the cabinet, 70% off of list. So it always goes by list price. And what's the list price? And then what is your discount on top of that? So the discount is blah, blah, blah. So you get this dealer cost. So all your product now that you buy because you're a dealer. So if someone wants to buy your product, that product, top knobs, whatever, if they want to buy them in person, you have to have a display. You have to be a dealer. They come to me. I get the dealer pricing. I'm not going to automatically give a designer or somebody, other professional, a contractor, or anybody. You're not going to give them your dealer pricing because, listen, I invested $1,500. I'm not giving you my dealer pricing. That's how I make my money. Where else am I going to make my money? I'm going to resell it to you. You're going to need a resale certificate or pay your taxes or whatever. But Solara Designs Inc. is going to sell it to Sylvia's Design Center, and their Sylvia's Design Center is going to sell it to Mrs. Smith. Okay, so that's business to business, but you're never going to get a dealer price because you are not a dealer unless you have the qualifications that I said and you make the investment and you have the showroom and you could say, yes, I qualify. I'm a dealer. I lost my dealer's license for top knobs and hardware resources because I no longer have the tower. I no longer have the display in the showroom. So it doesn't matter to me because I don't really do business like that anymore. So I have a question here. So list price is retail price. List price is the price that, yeah, you could say it's retail, but who sells retail? Retail is the list price. That's the top price for that product. So when you look at Kohler's book and they say the list price is $650 in chrome for that faucet. That's the list price. Nobody really sells list price, but it's a starting point. You'll go online, and this is what people are talking about. That's what I wanted to talk to this about, because what's the difference between the list price, the dealer price, and the sell price? When I buy, I'm not a dealer for Toto toilets, but I do big work with this one company. So I call up my dealer slash distributor of Toto toilets, and my company gets 50% off list. So I go to my plumbing supply, ABC Plumbing Supply, and my account, Solara Designs Inc., can get anywhere on the product from 30% off of list, 35 off of list, 45, 50 is usually the most off of list that I'm going to get as just buying through somebody. I would get less than 50 off if I was the dealer. Okay, so again, dealer versus designer here, Solar, ABC, or whatever I gave Sandra's Design, the example, because Sandra's Designs doesn't have, we mostly work from our small offices. We don't have displays, whatever. We buy differently, right? So Solara Designs did enough volume that I got all these better discounts. So I always looked for what is my discount off of list or retail. So what's my discount? So you want to get as close to 50% off of list. So now how do I turn around and sell that to my client? I'm going to take my cost, which was 50 off of list, and I'm going to say, Mrs. Smith, I give 25 off of list. So you're going to sell it to her then you mark up your money. So the math is different when you figure out what's your profit margin on selling at 25 off a list with a 50% off of list discounts. It's kind of like you're calculating your percentage up because you have to make profit margin. So that's where you do your profit margin. You start off, okay, what is my discount? Who do you get Toto from? I get my Toto from Blyberg Plumbing Supply in Oceanside. Ken and Mark are my guys. They are, I believe, the largest distributor. I know on Long Island. I think they might be one other. Blyberg Plumbing. Okay, love Blyberg, and they carry a lot of it is in stock in Long Island here. So anyhow, I digress. So we have the distributor, which is like a center, and the dealer, right? So the dealer gets it from the distributor center. If you want to come in and be the middleman, Susie's Design Center, and get it from the dealer then gets it from the distributor. The design sells it to the designer, and the designer sells it to the customer. So we have our list price, then we have our cost price, which is our discount off of list. And then you want to mark it up. So you have your profit margins, and your accountants and everybody will tell you what are your profit margins. You have to run your business on a certain amount of profit margin, like 45% profit margin, 25. If you're running at a 20% profit margin, you're not making any money. You have to figure out your expenses and do it all that. So you're taking your cost and then you're multiplying it up by your profit margin. So if you need to make 45% profit to be able to run your business, then you mark it up 45, whatever the percentage is that you mark it up. And then that might come to still less than the retail price. You're not marking your price up. When all the math is said and done, you're not ever going over the cost of the retail. So you're going to be competitive. So, Susie's Design Center can possibly sell the faucet for either 10% or 25% off of list, whatever your profit margin is. And let's say you're only marking it down 10% because the customer sees that number. They're looking at that retail number of $650. So they're concentrating on that number and they want to see it go down. So you're going to say, how do we get it to go down? You don't pick a number, you say percentages. Okay, so I'm going to give you 10% off. Why? Because I'm placing the orders. So my fee, you could go to ABC and online and get it through build.com for 15% off or whatever, but you're going to have to deal with the problem. For my money, I'm dealing with the problem, Mrs. Smith. If anything goes wrong, it's concierge service that you have here. I cover all your warranties. I check to make sure it's the right finish. I make sure it's the right product that came in. It is very complicated. And when you buy through me, returns, if anything, are much easier. So my discount might not be the 25 that you can get from build.com, but it's also, these are the pros of having me do it at only 10% discount. As long as they're getting a discount, they don't really care. But that's what a dealer pricing is. You're not going to get light fixtures at a deal. Who's going to sell you something at dealer cost? Nobody. I became a dealer because I know that I get the best discount. So if I'm planning on selling California faucets as my main attraction, and I know if I invest $3,000 into their displays that my discount is going to be really hefty and I can make a good profit margin, because as a designer retail showroom, I don't always sell to Susie's Design Center. I sell to Mrs. Smith, Mr. So-and-so. I sell to the retail. So that's why I'm a dealer, so I can get best pricing and sell retail. And by being a dealer, if Susie's design center wants to buy California faucets, she has to come to me or another dealer within a certain area. See, dealers to dealers can't be close to each other. That's another thing. So if I want to be a dealer for holiday kitchen cabinetry, if I want to be a dealer for them, I cannot have another Holiday Kitchens dealer within 2 miles from me. Otherwise, we're competing against ourselves. So there's territories also of where the product will be able to get put on display and where you'll be able to become a dealer. I've had that where I can't become a dealer for that because there was a kitchen guy down the road and he was already a dealer. So you know what? You can't get that. So there are lots of things to becoming a dealer. Designers, independent designers that work from home or with a small without the area to invest in displays will never become a dealer or dealer pricing. You can in certain circumstances. There are products out there, like there are cabinet companies that sell direct to the designers, and that's like dealer direct. Okay, so there are products that you can get directly as a designer from the manufacturer, but perhaps your discount would not be the same as if you were a dealer, a displaying dealer. Okay, so knowing that you have to go to a dealer, you're not going to get dealer pricing. So, distributor, dealer, designer, end user or specifier, architect, whoever you're selling to. Well, you could be a big architectural firm, but you need to get your stuff from the dealer if you're going to buy whatever. They're not going to sell it to them directly. It's very competitive. There's a lot of competition, and there's also such a thing as the minimum retail price. Because years ago we were getting these online things and they were saying, they were Frankie Sink, right? And they were not Frankie Sinks. They took their trademark and they were saying that they were Frankie, and it was all this kind of rigmarole. So I would call up, how can I get a Frankie Sink for $500? That's not a Frankie Sink, can't possibly be. No, because it was a whole Chinese product trying to imitate whatever. So they cracked down on all these independent companies that sell products through the internet. So there's minimum pricing. You cannot sell that product for anything less than what the manufacturer tells you to. Okay, whatever the manufacturer tells, that's it. And also, don't buy stuff. So some people buy the stuff online, right? You buy the stuff online because maybe you are in the middle of nowhere, right? So you have nobody to go to buy. So you might go to build.com, I think, which is actually owned by Ferguson, or you'll go to another one of those .coms. If there is no picture, if it's image coming soon, do not buy that product from that person, because that could mean that they are not authorized distributor of that product. They're not an authorized dealer. They're buying it from someplace else, and you're not going to get your warranty. It voids the warranty of how they're selling it. You see, so you can't just, if there's no picture of the faucet or no picture of the thing, don't purchase it from that website. Call the manufacturer itself and say, listen, ABC Manufacturing, I want to buy your product. I'm a designer. I want to buy it as the best discount I can. Who can I buy it from? Who do you recommend? And they will tell you .com or whatever to buy it from directly. Okay, so keep that in mind. So you're not going to get a dealer pricing unless you're a dealer. End of story. The other thing, I got somebody sent me an email and they were asking something. They're client is some kind of professional architect, engineer, we all get them, and they're like, I'm an engineer. And it's like, well, I can't figure out the load structure of that building, but I sure can figure out a corner of those end panels and the way those things are put together and what to expect in a kitchen design. So the question I read through the email briefly because all I wanted to say was, you know what, if your client thinks he knows better and he can design it in a way that it can be built because that's what he wants, ask him to come up with the design. As I know how the product is, I know why I need that end panel, I know why I need a filler, but let Mr. Know It All tell me how I'm supposed to do it with my 34 years of experience in the business. Okay, because maybe you know something I don't know, and I'd love to learn because what he's was proposing was preposterous unless I didn't understand it properly. So I have to reread it back uh, to get the details to give a good answer. But my quandary was, you know what? You design it then. If you don't think that I'm a professional and I know what I'm doing, and you think you know better than me, then you design it. You do it. You think you don't have enough trust in me? Like I can't take it with these people anymore. Like I'm gonna tell you what to do, and they're like, oh, but I'm a boo doo, and it's like, you do it. I'm too tired at this point. I'm not arguing with you over that can't be done. I'm telling you it can't be done. You prove to me it can be done. I'd be happy to learn. Be happy to learn where I can get, if I can learn something new, because we learn something new every day. And I could not be thinking of something mechanically in my head because when we put kitchens together, we're thinking mechanically. How does the overlay go? How does the door hit? How does it open? How does it, what kind of close it swing to the right? If it swings to the right, is it going to hit a jam, a doorknob? Is it going to hit the adjacent cabinetry? We're constantly thinking of the steps ahead of not just that one piece with a hinge. No, think of the process all the way through. So, talking about good design and thinking about the process all the way through, I went to beautiful Sub-Zero showroom we've been waiting, I think it's 3 years. It's definitely 2 years. It could be even longer. This gorgeous showroom that we've been waiting for here on Long Island in Roslyn to be opened. And it was a major renovation, new parking lots, I mean, big, big, huge. Well, state of the art. The bathrooms are compartmentalized, okay? I don't like the compartmentalized bathrooms, with a doorknob and all these fancy little things. If you're going to make it so big and this and that, put a sink in there. I mean, we'll have to go in a stall, all right? There's a stall. But these big compartmentalized bathrooms, think about it, it wouldn't matter what the size, even if it wasn't. Okay, forget the sink. Where there was nowhere to put my pocketbook. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm in a showroom, I'm a client or the designer, I got a bag, a pocketbook, right? So I like to take it off. If I have to go to the bathroom, sometimes, possibly, maybe. Or if I have a jacket on or something, I might want to take it off. There was not even like the toilet paper holders where they have the shelf for the phone even. There was nothing. No shelf, no hook, no nothing. What do? Put your stuff on the dirty bathroom floor? Like if I had a coat, I would have been I had nowhere to put it. So who designed the bathrooms? They're not thinking about, okay, I'm going into the bathroom. What could I have on me? What could be in my hands? What might I need to do? You know? So that wasn't thought through. It was beautiful and very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. And I just, a big fail. Get some hooks in there. Sub-Zero, if you're listening to me, Tommy Ann, put some hooks in the bathroom. All the stalls, put a hook. Put the toilet paper holder with the shelf on it for your cell phone. Whatever, and you could walk in the bathroom with a drink in your hand. You don't know. You got to put it down, and I don't want to put it on a yucky bathroom floor. And the other thing that somebody saw, I saw a picture, and it was in Manhattan, one of the buildings, I don't know, $53 million penthouse just opened up in one of the new skyscrapers, gorgeous, beautiful, contemporary, gorgeous. And my friend, who fellow professional who is in sound sights and sounds, like Joe Calise, pointed out, and I totally agree. This $53 million penthouse with a Central Park view, this in a man designed that. Absolutely, a man designed that. Totally. Sorry guys, love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. You're not thinking it through. You don't think it through. They just look about the arts, the architect. We could say an architect did it. Because they never think about those little tiny stupid little details like a coat and a bag. Okay, we go this gorgeous, beautiful show. The wall, okay, had the Decora switches, like 5 in a row. Decor switches. Are you out of your minds? He's right. Where's my control system? Where's my new 20th, 21st century panel that's going to carry me for the next 20 years to control my $53 million apartment? Should have controls on the walls. It should all be integrated. I shouldn't see this stupid diva Lutron light switches anywhere. Especially with what we have on the market now. It would have looked so much sleeker had it been a cool interactive control panel, electric control panel. I mean, even I want that, and I don't have a $53 million penthouse overlooking Manhattan. So these are the little things that designers are thinking about. And that's why that designer that's stuck with that engineer, architect, civil architect, I don't know what he was, they all think they know more. My thing is, you know what? If you know more, please tell me, show me how it's going to work. And if that person can come up with an idea how to make his idea what he thinks it should look like, and he wants to do that, you know what? Maybe it is possible. Maybe his idea of manufacturing it, putting it together is possible. But then you could say to that customer, because this is always what it boils down to, that's a great design, and I'm sure we can probably do that. I'm going to have to send that in for custom quoting and custom installation. So what I would normally say is a $3,000 item, we're probably looking at 6 to 10 for that particular modification over there. Just, something like that, just to keep in mind. We could do it that way, certainly. But that's how much it's going to cost. Because once you start to deviate from the norm and you start customizing cabinetry and you want people to do special installations and whatever, it's the price goes up and up. And you know what? Maybe he has the money. And if he has the money and he could do it and he's willing to pay and say, okay, you know what? Put a premium on your price because you're going to have to oversee it. You're going to have to project manage it. You're going to have to make sure it comes out correctly. So, you know, let those people decide and you know what, maybe he'll talk himself out of it and go like, you know what, that's ridiculous. Like, or he'll sit there and try and figure out the puzzle because it's a puzzle and he won't be able to do it. Because you can turn around and go, well, now I got to screw that in. What do I screw it into? How does that get held up? How does that molding stay on? Ah, I didn't think about that, right? Certain things, but they're always going to throw a loop at us. Sometimes as a professional, You need to just say, no, I'm not going to do it like that. Can't be done like that. If you think you know better, then please educate me and show me because I've never heard, never done, never seen. Maybe you'll be surprised. But don't be intimidated by these clients. Don't let them rule over your gut feeling. And sometimes we think about the money, like, oh, I need to make money on that job. I don't want to lose that job. But money comes in many forms. Money comes in health, money comes in time, money comes in good feelings. So there's money is not just a physical, it's not just a physical thing like a coin and a piece of paper. So think about those things and don't be intimidated and question everything that anybody tells you. Why do they say to do it? What is standard? Why did you make it standard? And what if I don't think it's standard? I should change it. And if I do think it's not and I should change it, then I should come up with a way to change it and make it better. So those were the things that I was talking about, thinking about what was going on this week. I wanted to just jump on and share that all with you guys. I'm trying to come on more live on a weekly basis because been sick for so long that my body has spent, when you think about it, some days I would sleep 8 hours. I would wake up and then just be sick the whole day and not wake up until 7 o'clock at night or 6 o'clock at night, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So my body physically is tired. Well, it's not tired. I get tired. I start to feel tired and I want to lay down and I have to fight. That's probably why my eyes are all red because I'm sure I could lay down right now for a nap, but I'm fighting through it. I am not going to take a nap. I mean, I have a little bit of a cold and I could sit here and say, well, you could use it, you need the rest, but don't I want to break that habit of my body going to take a nap. So bear with me as I get my energy back and get into the swing of things because I have so many things I want to do. I'm going to go back to that Roslyn showroom and demonstrate some of the beautiful things that I saw. I have my Sub-Zero refrigerator, I think 20 years, 21 years, something like that. You all know I talk about my Sub-Zero refrigerator because I got the best warranty in the industry. And someone said, oh, they're not made like they used to be 20 years ago. And then I thought about, didn't we say that 20 years ago? Like, oh, nothing's made the way it was 20 years ago. But it's still kicking, my refrigerator. Thank God. Knock wood. Knock wood. It's going strong. And I love their products, and they're made in the USA. I'm sure parts are imported, but their factory is made in the USA. So they're assembled here and whatever they do here in the States. Um, so I want to go to the new Kohler showroom. I have a lot of stuff I want to do. I'm trying to get it all together. Like I said, trying to get through these few months, healing, trying to stay awake, getting through a winter cold, and counting my monetary blessings in my health and my friends and family. And for this wonderful group, thank you. I learned a lot about the pricing. Good, Ellie. It's important to understand that pricing range. And I always say to people like, well, if they tell me one thing before I go, if a designer tells me, well, I get 25% off of list, I was like, everybody gets 25% off a list. You The consumer can get 25% off a list. So whatever the consumer's discount off of list, that price, you need to find less than that. So you want to find 35, 40, 45, 50% off list. And again, if you get good volume. Now, this is for plumbing fixtures and things like that because furniture is completely different story. It's a completely different story. I'm not relating it to anything to do with wallpaper, furniture, case goods whatsoever, except for lighting, like lamps. Okay. So listen, have a great weekend, everybody. I'm glad you learned something. Like I like to say, knowledge is power, and power is confidence, and confidence is a brand that sells. Okay, people. Ciao for now. Have a great weekend. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.